Chapter 6 of Friends of the Forest. This chapter is called The Magical World of the Beavers. The following morning there was so much excitement at the pond that our meek had to call a meeting to calm the beavers down. Big and little beavers, he announced. As you know, the Jones family are coming to visit in a couple of hours. Before then, we must make sure everything is ready. Let's sit here together and make sure everything is just right. Everything is ready, called out Chip and Chatter, the beaver twins together. I'm sure it is, said our meek, but let's just double check. I've made a list. First, is the lodge clean and tidy for our visitors? Yes, chorused all the beavers. Number 2, do we have something to give them to eat? He asked. Yes, chorused the beavers again. Yes, we've got willows and poplar branches, the beavers cried. Oh no, exclaimed our meek. That will never do. I don't think people eat willow or poplar branches. I think we should find some apples. I'm sure they will enjoy them better. Now, one last question. Have we made the underwater entrance bigger for all our visitors? Yes, chorused the beavers again. We're all sharing the work and now everything is ready. Well done, beavers, said our meek proudly. Now let's wait for our visitors to arrive. It wasn't just the beavers who were excited that morning. All the Jones family had woken up so early they were able to watch the sunrise before breakfast. Soon after breakfast, the family were making their way along the trail towards the pond as they looked for the beavers. Our meek let Keo swim along the pond to meet the Jones family. Hello, shouted Keo. I hope you're all looking forward to playing in the pond with us. The Jones family looked at each other, and finally Ringtail spoke. I'm afraid we're not dressed for swimming, he said. Don't worry, replied Keo. With a little bit of magic, you will all be able to swim and act exactly like us beavers. Just do as I say. First of all, hold hands and make a circle around me. Now, take your first 2 fingers and bend them to look like beaver teeth. That's right. Squat down as if you're about to slip off a branch. Is everyone ready? He asked. Once I say the magic words, you'll all be able to dive into the pond, just like real beavers. We're ready, replied the Jones family. Here we go then. With that, Keo shouted out the magic words. Beavers, beavers, beavers. Sharing, sharing, sharing. Whoosh! Jumping up with a whoosh and slapping their hands behind their backs, the Jones family dived into the water after Keo. Wow, exclaimed Rusty. We're just like beavers. Look at all the other creatures in the pond besides the beavers, gurgled Ringtail. Yes, replied Keo as he swam slightly ahead to show the family the way. Tiny air bubbles clung to his whiskers and his thick silver fur as he glided gracefully through the water. Our pond is home to many other animals too, such as ducks, frogs, fish and turtles, he continued. We all need to help each other and keep the pond safe and clean. Turning towards the lodge entrance, Keo gave a big slap of his tail and swam through the wide opening. One by one, the Jones family followed, and then a little push upwards their heads surfaced inside the beaver lodge. Hello, exclaimed all the beavers as they saw their new friends arrived. Come in, sit down and make yourselves comfortable. The smallest beaver came over to the family and whispered, We wanted to share our food with you, but Keo thought that you wouldn't like our poplar and willow branches, so we got you some wild apples from a tree in the woods. That's very true, replied Ringtail. We love apples. Thank you very much. Looking around the lodge, Rusty saw how the walls were made of strong branches and mud. He was surprised how big it was too. Wow, he said, the lodge is wide enough for me to lie down in and high enough for me to stand up in and not bang my head on the roof. Hawkeye asked, "When you're in here, can you hear the noises of the forest?" "No," replied Keo. "We hear the sounds of the water, but that's about all. When Ringtail and Rainbow come in the canoe, we can hear the paddles splashing in the water, and we can hear when you're all swimming." "It must be really peaceful," commented Rainbow. The Jones family stayed in the lodge for a long time, and they told the Beavers all about the lives of humans. Eventually, it was time to go, and once again, Keo acted as their guide as he slipped out of the lodge and swam towards the riverbank. With a wave of his paw and a smack of his tail, Keo left them to become people once again. As Keo swam away, Sunshine remarked, "I never realised just how much beavers give to the forest." "Yes," said Hawkeye, "the pond gives a home to many plants, insects, birds and animals. And if it wasn't for beavers making a dam, we wouldn't have a quiet place to canoe and swim," added Bubbles. "Maybe we should give the beavers something back in return for all the things they give us. But I just can't think of anything," said Rainbow sadly. "I know what we can do," said Ringtail excitedly. "We can help keep the pond and forest clean. That way, the pond will stay safe for all the animals to use, and we can start right now." Bubbles saw a rusty old tin that had been left in the forest and bent down to pick it up. They all began to talk about the fun projects they could do to keep the Beavers' pond a beautiful, magical place. Keo had been watching the family as they chatted. He knew these people had become best friends of the forest, and that was the greatest magic of all.